Hey everyone, I just wanted to leave a brief word of encouragement, or actually, I would call it more of a caution. I'd like to say to each of you, beware of distractions. When I looked up the word distraction, it had so many different meanings, but there were really two meanings that really stood out to me. The first one was a distraction causes us to lose our focus. It takes our attention away from something. So what a distraction literally does is it comes in to have us lose focus on the main thing, and the distraction now makes itself the main thing. Does that make sense? The other definition for distraction is when we choose to work on one thing as a way to avoid another thing. We pay more attention to this because we really don't want to deal with that. Now, that one I am totally 100% guilty on because I work on different projects for my business throughout the day. And there are some projects that I work on that I just love to work on them. And then there are other projects that I'm like, oh my gosh, do I really have to do this? And so ultimately, it ends up being my preference. I work on what I prefer. Well, we have to be careful that even our preferences don't become a distraction, because when we say, God, I want to be used for your glory, I give you my yes, we have to be careful that when God is introducing something into our path, into our day, that is different. It calls us to step out of our comfort zone, that we don't miss that opportunity because we are so heavily relying upon what we prefer to do versus what we need to do. That word distraction, even if you just break it down into two words, traction means a power that pulls you. So I think about the power of God, the power of the Holy Spirit that is daily pulling us toward our purpose and our destiny. And then when you look at the other part of the word diss, I'm going to call on my old school people for a minute. When I was growing up, we used to be like, oh, he dissed you. Oh, she dissed you. Well, what we were saying is, in essence, so-and-so disrespected or dishonored somebody. Well, we have someone who disrespects and dishonors us, and that is the enemy. He disrespects our destiny. He dishonors our purpose. So he looks for ways to diss our traction. Get that in your spirit. And he does that. He introduces distractions through people. It's great to have relationships, but when we have set goals for ourselves and we're trying to operate within time management, there might be some phone calls you may need to let it go to voicemail. Some text that you just cannot answer in this moment. And I'm not saying, you do that all the time. We have to be prayerful, but we have to recognize when something is, comes into our path and tries to make itself the main thing, when we already know we're focused on what is actually the main thing. So we have to be careful of people. Facebook can be a huge distraction. I know, because I love to minister on Facebook, but I can't be like ministering all day, every day. I'll post here and there, but that's a preference. I would love to do that all day and answer your inboxes all day, every day, but I have a job to do and I have other, areas of ministry. And so I have to be careful because I prefer to do that, that I'm not missing other things, that God would want me to be doing. Remember, again, this is about purpose and destiny. And ultimately, when we are in the will of God, he gets the glory. But when we are distracted and we're doing stuff that he doesn't intend, then the enemy gets the glory. And also, we really have to be careful about productivity versus activity. A rocking chair gets a lot of activity, is moving back and forth, but it ain't going nowhere. When we are productive, we are producing. We are moving toward a goal. And so, we have to be prayerful about people, about preferences. And so, if you run into a situation throughout the day and you go, God, I'm not sure what to do, ask him. Say, Holy Spirit, let me know. Is this a divine intervention from God? Is this God intervening, or is this the enemy interrupting? Because there is a difference, beloved. So I just want to encourage you, be careful and be prayerful, and, try to beware of distractions.